Hello, everyone. Welcome to this pick a card reading where I will tap into the energy of the next 30 days. Or if you're watching this around the time that I'm recording it, which is June 25th, we are at a very interesting, energetic crossroads. We have just gone through the portal of the summer solstice, and at the time that I'm recording this, there is a full moon in Cancer, which feels very, very powerful, which feels very, very nurturing. There's a lot of feminine energy coming through to assist us into this next chapter, into this next phase of our journey. It definitely feels like a transition. Definitely feels like a huge shift, which is why I'm calling this reading What's Shifting, okay? What is the lesson that you're currently learning, that you're currently going through, so that you can shift into this energy, into this new beginning, into this new chapter in whichever way it may look like for you the most right now, right? Everyone has their own karmic lessons. Everyone has their own life path. We each chose different lessons when we incarnated, but there are general themes that we go through as a collective, and these are the ones that I want to tap into. Okay, so we're going to look into your current energy, okay, and the lesson that you're learning, guidance from spirit, and also we're going to look at the outcome. Okay, what is the energy that is shifting, what you're shifting into after these 30 days. Okay, also if you watch this at a later time, this is meant to be a timeless reading. Okay, so whenever you watch this, the next 30 days will be significant. And also, this is not just feminine gender. Okay, I know the imagery is with female depictions, but this is definitely I'm feeling a usually I have around 25 to 30% masculine males, okay, but also masculine energy. So take this as it resonates. This could talk about your internal feminine energy or someone in your life, okay, a female character in your life. We're going to see each pile what the specific message is, and I will guide you through it. But for now, oh, and before we tap into each pile, I have open sessions for July. So if you want to grab one of those, feel free to do so. And I have 2 spots open for my 1-month intensive mentorship, where I help you align with your true life's purpose and truly, truly step into your own destiny timeline and take all your power back from the old energies that have kind of influenced your trajectory of life, and it's kind of like the butterfly effect, right? It definitely every single experience that we have impacts our energy, and then through that energy, from that energy, we then recreate the same experiences, which is what we call the karmic cycles, right? And when you work at the energy level, you definitely liberate yourself out of those karmic loops. That's what I like to call. But you have to do it at the energetic level, right? Mental, emotional. These definitely help, but they cannot free you. Okay, they cannot free you energetically from those karmic loops. So if you need help with that, then reach out. You can apply. Let me know about your particular struggles or your particular situation, what it is that you'd like to work through, and we'll take it from there. All right. So for pile 1, we have Becoming Nobody. Interesting, with writer. I like the energy. Then we have No Strings Attached for pile 2. Very liberating. And then we have perfect moments for pile three. I'm excited for this reading. I'll see you guys in there. Hello, Pile One. Welcome to your reading for the next 30 days, or if you want to look at it, at the time that I'm recording it, this is going to be for the month of July. So we're looking into the energetic shift that has occurred with the summer solstice and the current full moon in Cancer. Um, I want to say, okay, this is a very intuitive pile, but you may not necessarily know that about yourself. That was the first thing that is coming through. So, regardless of whether if you are a masculine or a feminine, if you identify with any of those genders, these 30 days are definitely going to sharpen your intuition. You're definitely going to connect much, much more with your inner compass. And okay, calm down. There are a lot of messages that are coming through at the same time, which means that you are definitely going to have a lot of inspiration, is what I'm hearing as well. You could be writing a book, you could be finishing a book this month. I'm hearing even before the end of the month. This is, you're being flooded with universal love energy, with energy from source. And I'm feeling a lot of energy of introspection, isolation, like really focused on your cups. That's what I'm hearing. And with this Knight of Cup over here, it's like pouring into yourself, pouring into your creative energy, pouring into your creative projects, pouring into your, and definitely into your spiritual practices, whichever those may be, like meditation, journaling. Okay, it doesn't have to be something out of too out there, but it's really like your spiritual hygiene, right? Prayer, just really mental clarity, just a lot of mental clarity and focus on what's really, on emotional fulfillment is also where I'm hearing with this Knight of Cups. So you're definitely, as you're going through this process, pile one, I was going to say pile two, so some of you may resonate with pile two as well. The energies felt very similar, but with this energy of cups, Pisces, there's a lot of water. Even at the bottom of the deck, we have two of cups. Which is the lover's energy, and the lover's energy can talk about things that you like, that are reciprocated, that pour into each other. Even the two fish here, it's like it feels balanced, it feels equal, it's like universal love. It is something that you receive and you give back through your creativity, through your expression, through your service out into the world. And I feel like this pile is definitely, it's like a 180. It feels like a 180 shift. Some of you may have, with the Two of Cups, may have gone through a breakup. Some of you may have gone through a divorce or a breakup. This is not for everyone, but it feels like someone who is really, really recharging, but at the same time, opening their heart to a lot more compassion and becoming this Knight of Cups, meaning because of the experience that you've gone through, it has really turned you into, for lack of a better word, a better person. It feels like you're turning your heart towards, this feels like a codependent energy, right? An energy where maybe you have poured into something that was just not reciprocating. This is definitely what is coming through with this universal love. Or if it was a project, or if it was anything external, okay? If it's anything that you felt like the energy was not coming back, right? You were just pouring into something and nothing was coming back. This has actually turned you into a more compassionate person, and all of that compassion is actually turned towards what I'm really hearing. And that was the first message that came through with your pile, is that you're turning towards humanity, towards service. You have actually realized your own compassion in your own heart through this journey. And how much you have to give to the world. I was hearing also, before I was shuffling the cards, even before it came, even before the Pisces card came through, I was hearing that the Pisces person is significant, or you could be a Pisces. This is a confirmation for someone. And then the Pisces card just flipped through. It's wow. I'm at this point, I'm used to this kind of occurrences, but it's just how it is. It even says the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. Pile 1. This is 100% your message of today, is like, you, because of whatever hardship that you may have gone through, these are for some of you, or whatever it is that triggered this shift. I feel like this is more than just a like energetic shift, planetary shift, solar flares. I feel like this is triggered by some event in your life where you are feeling much more the connection with oneness. You are becoming, I didn't even see it. It's like becoming nobody, which means that in the past, if you have been like attached to a particular person or situation, or I don't know, belief, a way of being, that was your ego that was attached to it, okay? And so you had to leave your ego to leave that situation. You had to leave your ego entirely. It's like your ego did not come out in one piece from that situation. I'm sorry if I'm laughing. It's not at the situation, but it's like it feels like the way you're seeing it right now, like you're definitely detached from it. I really feel like you're in a peaceful energy with the Pisces, just like flowing with the energy, and like because of the stress, it really feels like pressure cooker, right? It feels like something that just forced you out. Maybe not directly, but the universe forced you out of it. And because of that experience, like you became nobody, in the sense where it's like you're no longer attached to a specific ego like you were in the past, but more so right now you are you. Like you, consciousness, part of existence itself, and you're definitely feeling more and more connected with the universal love, and you are able to give to more people, or more to life itself. I'm hearing to nature itself as well, freely. And not in a way that it depletes you, or not in a way that feels codependent, and not in a way that feels conditional either. You do it because you're filled with this universal love. Codependency is actually the opposite of love. It's lack of love for oneself, and therefore you cannot love another if you are losing yourself in a connection, right? So once we remove that energy of codependency from our life, we can allow the love from source to pour into our hearts, to pour into our vessels. But when we expect love to come from one source, that is ego, that is attachment. You're definitely, some of you are definitely inspired by pile 2 as well, with no strings attached. I'm really curious to see what the messages in there are saying. There may be something complementary to your energy, but definitely pile 2. Again, I said pile 2. All right. Pile 2 is definitely calling me. Pile 1. You are in an energy throughout these 30 days where it's just so much peace, so much harmony, and just so much love. Like, just looking at the card and feeling the energy gives me chills. You are becoming a Knight of Cups, which means that you are definitely becoming someone who's filled with compassion and love, but for all beings. Like, this feels like such a spiritual awakening, to be honest. Pile 1, this feels like an awakening of sorts. It feels like a heart opening. It feels like it's just a beautiful energy. And with all these cups over here, this is definitely going to bring this, the energy that is coming through on the other side is going to mirror your internal energy at what you have cultivated from within, which is a lot of emotional fulfillment. So definitely the 2 of Cups can indicate the kind of people that you're going to be connecting with, or situations are definitely going to be reciprocating back to you all the love that you have and all the love that you give. 100%. I really feel like this is the message for you today, Player One. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with us today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading. Today, we're going to tap into the energy of the next 30 days. And if you're watching this at the time that I'm recording, the month of July 2025. I am okay. The energy shifted 180 from pile one, but also as I was channeling into pile one, I kept saying pile two, pile two, pile two. Um, this is maybe okay. There is a feeling of not impatience in a negative way, but like excitement, just screaming out of this pile. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of freedom, a lot of expansion, and a lot of just unbridled energy. This is how it's coming through. Okay, the lesson. Okay, so clear. The lesson that you are currently, for whatever reason, I feel like you're currently going through it, and then it's just going to unfold over the next 30 days, is realizing how the attachment that you've been in, just how much they have stifled your potential. This is coming through so clearly. And with no strings attached, it's self explanatory. But we also have the Mars card in reverse, which means like Mars is a very, well, it's a very masculine card, but it's also the energy that, helps us like move forward. So I feel like you've been blocked in your life for quite a while. Several months is what I'm hearing. For some, 5 to 7 months, there was some sort of situation in your life that was almost like you felt there were strings attached to it. And your lesson was to see through illusions, period. With the Seven of Cups in the reverse, this is seeing clearly and discernment. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Discernment, being able to see people with detachment. Okay, no strings attached, with detachment, and seeing their, not seeing their potential. This is a very, okay, I don't know how to put it into words specifically, but this is a message that someone really needs to hear. When we focus on other people's potential, especially when we put them first, when we focus on other people's path more than our own, this is our subconscious avoiding the work that we need to do for our own growth. So it's not as selfless as we think. This is the part of us that wants to avoid the inner work that it would take for us to reach our own potential. And so what we do is we try to find a shortcut. We try to find we try to negotiate with the universe and just shift our focus from our internal state of being and pour it into someone else. But the thing is that that's just not how it works. You cannot rob someone out of their own growth experiences in the same way that you cannot vicariously leave someone else's potential, someone else's fulfillment, someone else's success. Now, you may want to do this, but in a professional setting where there are boundaries, where there's an energy exchange, where there is compensation, then in that case, sure, it's wonderful to see people thriving. It's wonderful to be there as a guide. It's wonderful to see people grow and to a system in that way, but not in our personal relationships. This is definitely the pile that it has. The way it's coming through is they have stepped down. They have quit their like therapist job or being a counselor for other people, and they're really discerning the ways in which they are engaging with others and how the energy how the energy exchange unfolds, right? How, like, I'm hearing also the role, like the role of people in your life, and making sure that, well, are we on the same page? Like, are we clear with the Seven of Cups? Is this definitely feels like illusion, confusion. Like there was a lot of blurred lines. This is how it's coming through very strongly. There were a lot of blurred lines. And so discernment, the energy of discernment here has really, really strengthened your masculine energy with Mars over here. And I feel like moving forward, coming out of these 30 days, you're definitely going to see people very clearly with the Seven of Swords. You're definitely going to see through people's intentions, and you're not going to be able to be um you're not going to be swayed from your own path. You're going to be in your energy. You're going to be with this Sagittarius. I feel like you're definitely aiming for your purpose, aiming for freedom, exploration. I feel like, okay, what I'm hearing also is throughout the next 30 days, you are going to make plans that are very outside the box for you, which could involve travel, right? Sagittarius energy is definitely can talk about travel or any sort of project that takes you out of your comfort zone, but definitely you're shooting big. You're definitely aiming high. You are definitely not settling because you're realizing how much the energies that have been in your life and have kept you in these illusions have held you back. And so we're not doing that. Pile two is simply no longer doing that. Pile two is free. Pile two is crystal clear when it comes to not just people, but also just situations in general, right? It's like I feel like this feels like an energy, like a sobering energy with so much white. It feels like you're seeing things very clearly. It's like your emotions are not as involved. You're definitely entering into a much more masculine energy, action oriented, very grounded, very present. Um Very sharp, like a lot of swords energies coming through. Very, it's like I'm seeing you really enjoying this energy. It feels like an energy that you've either never been in or it's been a while that you haven't been in this energy. Maybe you've been too much in your feminine energy or too much in spirituality or too much into any sort of circles that have certain beliefs, and you've been like almost in a loop, right? Going around in these cycles and in these circles. And I feel like right now you're freeing yourself from. I'm also hearing like experiencing the same thing over and over again. You're like, the way this is coming through is like your energy is like moving forward. Okay, it's like forward energy, fast forward motion. It's no longer like staying around in the same frequency, in the same vibration, because I feel like there were a lot of dependencies, right? Maybe you were depending on other people. I'm hearing emotional support, like you are either giving emotional support or expecting emotional support, or it's like, okay, this is something that in manifestation, I don't like this word, but let's just use it for for the purpose of this reading. The way to really move your path forward is to not have dependencies. And this is easier said than done, right? There are certain dependencies that we just need to have in our life, and they are there for a reason. But there are some that are just holding us back. And once we do that, it's almost like the arrow, when the arrow stretches and then it just moves forward very quickly. That is the motion that feels like you're going to go through over the next 30 days, and definitely by the end of July, you are going to be hearing. Oh, this is so gorgeous. I'm hearing shooting for the stars. You can even see like there are some stars on the Sagittarius card. It's like by the end of this month, I'm going to shoot for the stars. And I'm hearing the world is becoming bigger. The world is becoming bigger. I feel like the energies that you've been in have limited your perception of the world and of what you can experience. Or maybe you thought that the only way to experience those things were by association with other people that were just not able to give you that freedom. So pile 2 is definitely taking life in their own hands, 100%, and is realizing just how much freedom they actually have. It's a very empowering energy. It's a very beautiful energy. I am so grateful for you sharing your energy with us today. If this message resonated, then let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, take care, pile too. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading for the energy that you are shifting into with the next 30 days, within the next 30 days, more precisely. Um, so, we're going to start over with your current energy. What I'm hearing as I was laying down the cards is the spiritual lesson card took a while. I even had to shuffle other decks before really deciding on that one. And I was hearing spirits say that you either avoided this lesson or you were very distracted. But now I feel like you're in an energy of surrender to whatever this lesson it may be. We're gonna look deeper into it. Um, so the lesson that you are currently learning or going through or have gone through recently is very spiritual in nature. With the Merkaba, I mean, it's probably one of the most spiritual cards in the deck. We also have Emergence at the bottom of the deck, which is uh, okay. This is a very difficult energy to decode. Not a difficult energy, but like it's difficult for me to translate it. You are breaking free from a childhood environment or something related to childhood. Because at the bottom of the deck, we also have early learnings, childhood relations, and it came through in reverse. And emergence also says in the frequency of emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence. I am just utterly tired all of a sudden. Pile 3. Okay. I was hearing also recharge with perfect moments. This is a lesson that as you are integrating, right, spiritual energy is very taxing. um, your physical vessel definitely needs to recharge. So I feel like your priority over the next 30 days, but I'm hearing like the whole summer is definitely to look after yourself, to be in this energy of recharge, self-care, especially um, especially health wise, especially when it comes to your environment, your comfort, your body. This is this is big lesson pile 3. Ooh, there's a lot of maturity though. Maturity. This is the word that is coming through. As you go through this lesson, you're going to gain a lot of maturity and wisdom. Because I feel like whatever you're overcoming from childhood or something that is childhood related, or family environment. You could be moving out of a family house. I feel like this energy kept you stuck in a less evolved version of yourself. And I don't mean this in a in an obvious way. It's like even on the outside you may give off this energy of being very responsible, very grounded, but there is something internally that kept you almost like frozen in time. It's just very delicate and very difficult to explain with words. But what I'm hearing is that it's a part of you that was only meant to be, it's almost like it's been reserved for this phase of your life that if you were to let it emerge, with the emergence card, if you were to let it emerge, it would have either caused a lot of conflict with the people around you or the environment that you were in, or it would have just it would have made it utterly uncomfortable for you to stay in. So if this was a job, okay, let's just take this most simple example. If you're going through a spiritual awakening and if you were attached to a particular job or a particular community, or like living with your parents, let's just say, or in your hometown, going through a spiritual awakening would have been just very uncomfortable because you would just simply not no longer resonate with the beliefs of the culture or your surroundings, and that would have made it just very difficult for you to stay in. But I feel like you're liberating yourself from whatever it is that made it, I'm hearing like even impossible, but made it difficult for you to tap into that spiritual higher aspect of yourself. And now as it comes through, I feel like it comes through like a little bit too powerfully. We even have the ace of wands. The ace of wands is a new passionate beginning. What spirit wants to let you know, pile 3, is that as you're going through this month, you are definitely going to find your find your mojo, find your spark back. I feel like this is physical. This is physical energy as you are going through these upgrades. You're going through some spiritual upgrades, and then your physical body is definitely it's taking it's taking a lot of your physical energy to integrate this lesson. But what spirit wants you to know, pile 3, is that you're definitely going to be not just safe, but grounded, mature in your. There's something about, like, I'm hearing backbone. I don't know what it means, like, specifically for you, but you are definitely going to look at life like you're going to be much more firm, much more. You're going to have more authority over your own life. Respect is coming through as well, but with this backbone, I feel like you can stand proudly. I feel like there was something where you had to like lean forward, like you couldn't be fully in your power, right? You had to maybe receive orders, or you felt very subordinate, is what I'm hearing. Maybe it's a bit too strong of a word, but you weren't able to pursue your passions. So definitely by the end of next month, pile 3, you are going to experience this surge of energy, because right now I feel like you are your physical body is definitely, I feel like you're going through an energy of integration and definitely recharging. But as you're coming out of it, the next month, if you're watching this in July 2025, it's Leo, right? Leo season is really going to be very um very, you're going to feel like in a a whole new dimension. That's what I'm hearing. I really feel like there is a huge part of you that was just missing all throughout your life. And as you are, it's almost like finding yourself. Wow, I've never heard, I've never had a more difficult time channeling than right now, and it definitely it's because of how charged the energy is. It's not in a bad way. It really feels like a huge shift for you, pile 3. um it really feels like not just a new chapter, but it feels like a whole new life for you. I mean, to have the ace as your outcome, it's like a whole new beginning where, the fire energy is definitely just very passionate. I feel like this new chapter is one where you're definitely finding your, like, channeling your energy into the things that you most want to focus on. Um, with this child energy, this energy that came through in the reverse, I feel like you had to, you were living a life that was still conditioned and still influenced by your early childhood experiences, your early, like, your childhood environment. This could be in a literal sense, or it could be more metaphorical, speaking about beliefs that you are holding on to. Let's see, is there one last message before we wrap this up? Spirit for pile 3. Yeah, this, again, the word maturity is coming through again. This was a necessary lesson, pile 3. I'm hearing knowing who you are. This is funny because you're finally knowing who you are. For pile 1 and 2, I kept, I kept mistaken them. I was saying pile 2 for pile 1, or I was, pausing before actually saying the pile. But for you, it's like it comes through so naturally. It's like pile 3, pile 3. I feel like in this next phase, in this next chapter, it's like, I know who I am. Like, this is who I am. There is no confusion. Like, the other people can no longer project onto you who you are, because I feel like there was a lot of projections. There were a lot of things that you felt like submissive towards. Like, there were a lot of things that I feel like you were keeping up with everyone else's expectation of you. This feels like too many strings attached. This is like the opposite of pile 2, or maybe you've resonated with pile 2 as well. I feel like there's a little bit of similarity with pile 2. Yeah, today's piles were, there were different energies, but the theme, it feels kind of similar. This really feels like a 180 in shift, where the collective is definitely tapping into their own power, stepping into their own energy, owning their energy, versus whatever comes from the external world. It's like they have much more authority over projections, and they can say with certainty, like, this is who I am, this is who I know deep down that I'm here to be. And with this Ace of Wands, this is when things can really speed up. This is when things can actually manifest, right? The fire energies vibrationally. This is where you can energetically align with your true purpose, with your true destiny, versus being scattered because of external demands, because you're looking in all directions for what you should do or what others expect of you. When you gather back all your energy and you direct it towards that specific purpose, that's when you know that it just manifests. Because when you pour your focus and energy into one thing, it's the law. It's not, it cannot not manifest, right? And this is definitely feels like you going on your path, your own path, something that feels yours. It feels destined, right? It's not influenced by your external surroundings. Wow. Pile 3. What a gorgeous reading. Honestly, very taxing, very charged, but definitely it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your energy. If this resonated, let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one, Pile 3. Take care.